What if every choice you made was the wrong one? What if no matter where you ran, you were already trapped? Tonight, we step into a world where survival isn't about winning. It's about choosing which nightmare you can live with. This is Euphoria Season 3, Episode 2, America, My Dream. And trust me, what happens in this episode changes everything. After a brutal 5-year time jump, Euphoria doesn't just return, it evolves. The characters we once knew as teenagers are now adults living the consequences of their past. And at the center of it all is Rue. Played by Zendaya, Rue is no longer just fighting addiction, she's fighting for her life. Because now she owes a dangerous drug dealer named Laurie $100,000. And in this world, debts like that don't get forgiven, they get collected. The episode opens with Rue's voice echoing over dark, haunting visuals. She says, "People ask what I've been doing since high school. Honestly, nothing good." And immediately we see what she means. Rue is in Mexico, not on vacation, but running drugs, crossing borders, taking risks, living on the edge. But what happens next is even more disturbing. To smuggle fentanyl back into the US, Rue and Faye are forced into something called body packing. They swallow condoms filled with drugs. One mistake, and they die instantly. This isn't survival anymore. This is a ticking time bomb. But then, something strange happens. Rue ends up in a quiet Christian homestead, a place filled with calm, faith, and silence. And for a moment, she feels something she hasn't felt in years. Peace, even curiosity about God. But don't get comfortable, because in Euphoria, peace never lasts. Because just when it feels like Rue might change, we learn the truth. She's not free, she's working for Laurie. And the deeper she goes, the harder it becomes to escape. But Rue isn't the only one whose life is falling apart, because what's happening to the others might be just as dangerous. And what happens next, no one saw coming. While Rue is spiraling into darkness, the rest of her world is quietly breaking too. Cassie is chasing something dangerous. Not drugs, not money, but validation. She wants to be seen, to be loved. And now, she's trying to become famous online. Maybe TikTok, maybe OnlyFans. Anything that gives her attention. But there's one problem. Nate. Nate doesn't like losing control, and Cassie's independence, it threatens everything he believes in. Their relationship is no longer love, it's a power struggle. And in episode 2, that tension gets worse, much worse. Meanwhile, Maddy has stepped into a new life. She's working at a talent agency in Hollywood, a world of power, money, and influence. But underneath that glamorous surface, there's something dangerous. Because Maddy isn't just observing this world, she's learning it. And slowly, she's becoming part of it. But in Euphoria, every new beginning comes with a cost. Lexi's story takes a different turn. She's now working behind the scenes in television. Quiet, observant, still watching everything, still understanding more than anyone else. But even she can't escape what's coming, because everyone is connected, even when they're far apart. And then, finally, Jules returns. After being completely absent in episode 1, she reappears in episode 2. And this moment matters, because Rue and Jules have always been the emotional core of Euphoria. Photos confirm they share a scene, and when they meet again, it's not simple, it's not romantic, it's complicated, because time has changed them, and pain has rewritten their story. But while everyone else is struggling emotionally, Rue is fighting something far worse, because her debt is about to catch up to her, and what she's forced to do next will push her past the point of no return. This is where episode 2 stops holding back, and everything gets darker. Rue reaches a breaking point. She's out of time, out of options, and completely trapped. Laurie isn't just a dealer. She's calculating, cold, patient. She doesn't yell. She doesn't threaten. She simply waits, because she knows Rue has nowhere else to go. This is the moment where the show transforms. It's no longer just a teen drama. It becomes something else, something closer to a horror story, a world where every decision leads to pain, where survival feels like punishment. Rue faces a choice, but here's the twist. There is no good option, only bad ones, worse ones, and the worst one. This is her turning point, but it's not about redemption. It's about how far she's willing to fall. At the same time, Nate's control starts slipping. Cassie's actions are becoming unpredictable, and their relationship is heading towards something explosive. You can feel it. It's coming. And then, we learn something devastating. Fez is in prison, possibly for 30 years. One of the few characters who had a moral code is now gone from the world. And that absence, it changes everything. By now, every character is trapped, emotionally, financially, psychologically. But the biggest question still remains. Can Rue survive this? Or has she already gone too far? Episode 2 doesn't give us answers. It gives us consequences. Rue doesn't escape. She doesn't win. She continues falling, deeper and deeper and deeper. This episode isn't just about drugs or relationships or crime. It's about something much darker. It's about choices and how sometimes life doesn't give you good ones, only different versions of suffering. The 5-year time jump shows us one thing clearly. Growing up doesn't fix your problems, it magnifies them. Addiction isn't just physical, it's emotional. Love can become control. Power always comes with a price. And sometimes, survival feels worse than failure. Euphoria Season 3, Episode 2 isn't trying to comfort you. It's trying to confront you, to show you a world where nothing is simple, nothing is clean, and nothing is safe. And the scariest part? This is only the beginning. Because if Episode 2 is already this dark, what happens next might be even worse. So if you want the full breakdown of upcoming episodes and deep explanations like this, make sure you subscribe. Because in this story, we're just getting started. After the chaos of Episode 2, things don't slow down. They get worse. Episode 3, titled The Ballad of Paladin, is expected to dive even deeper into the consequences of Rue's dangerous choices. She's now completely trapped in the criminal world. What started as survival is turning into something permanent. And this time, it's not just about paying off debt. It's about staying alive. Their relationship is heading towards explosion. The cracks we saw in Episode 2, they don't heal, they widen. Expect betrayal. Expect control. And maybe something irreversible. Now that she's back, Episode 3 is likely to explore her life more deeply, especially her identity, her independence, and her complicated connection with Rue. Season 3 has shifted into a much darker, almost crime-driven narrative with higher stakes and more brutal consequences. And Episode 3, this is where the story starts tightening the noose around every character.